champion Philadelphia Eagles smashed the Chiefs in a blowout, but they're going to look a little different next season, Colin. OC Kellen Moore took the job in New Orleans, and Philly recently promoted their pass game coordinator, Kevin Patullo, to replace Kellen Moore, and A.J. Brown is very fired up about this new promotion.
I truly feel like it's a great hire. He already has been involved in almost everything. Him, Kellen, and Nick basically called the plays already. It's a great hire, and he's already familiar with us. We have a great relationship, and he knows what we need to work on because he's been there, and he's been there for a while. And like I said, he's already been a part of all the situations and the conversations and everything. So I think it's a great hire.
I was thinking about this morning when I saw this story. In just a couple of years, this is what's happened to the NFL. Bill Belichick is now coaching the 23rd best college football program in the country, and Nick Sirianni is routing Andy Reid in the Super Bowl. I don't think this is a coaching team. I think it's a roster that is built by a GM. I think there's a lot of different ways to win in the NFL. This team is winning with their GM and their quarterback and their roster.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Jalen Hurts is about to have his 4th offensive coordinator in 4 years. I mean, they had Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore, and now Patullo. I just wondered, last time they promoted Johnson, remember, after Steichen left, it was a mess. There were a lot of problems. It was like, that's Jalen Hurts' guy. I mean, Patullo is promoted from within. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm not ready to go Eagles will repeat. They're certainly in the mix. They're one of the 5 best teams in the league, we'd agree.
No, they'll be, it's a loud city. It'll be a loud off season. That's what Philadelphia does.
That division, Jaden Daniels is here, and Matt Stafford, we started that Super Bowl week. Remember?
You did. You started it 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. You said Stafford the Giants, and you were right.
And now we'll see. Well, it's not done, but that division all of a sudden gets much tougher. We'll get to Dallas shortly. They're not going to be tough.
Okay. Guys, I gotta maybe not do videos so late at night because the patience that I have for some of these takes is just so absurd. First off, Kevin Patullo has an insane amount more of experience compared to who the OC was in 2023. So that's already night and day. It's already night and day. The amount of experience that Kevin Patullo has. That's number one. Number two, saying that this is just a GM and quarterback team is so insane considering what we saw in 23. Okay, which we know the coaching was awful. Yes, players matter, obviously. But to downplay the impact of coaching and what Kellen Moore did with that offense and what Fangio did with that defense is so insane. That's just... Guys, do you think that any coach would have been able to just bring in Bond and make him all pro? Most coaches don't even have the confidence in themselves to start pulling strings to make those types of changes. Like, just... Oh, my gosh. Like, it's just... Coaching is so insanely important. I love how it's the coaches that we like. And by we, I mean the media. And I don't mean me, as I don't think I see myself as part of the media. So I mean this like sarcastically, essentially, when I use the word we. But like, I like how it's like when it's the coaches we like. Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, Andy Reid, Shanahan. We want to really emphasize that coaching. But with the Eagles and Fangio, who quite frankly put on an absolute... I wish there was another word for masterclass because I've used this a lot. But an absolute masterclass. Like, yes, Howie Roseman built an awesome team and Cooper DeJean and Jalen Carter and Kenyon Mitchell and like all that. No doubt about it. Like, I praised Howie Roseman. So this is not me trying to take away any credit from Howie Roseman. Like, at all. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles should be, saying their prayers and including Howie Roseman there. Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles fans should be praying that Jeffrey Lurie just offers Howie Roseman some stake in the Eagles so he's with the Eagles forever. So I am not downplaying the importance of Howie Roseman by any stretch of the imagination. But like, bro, like, what are we saying here, man? Fangio was so crucial. And play calling, I don't care who you are. Oh my gosh. Guys, play calling and game management, like, not even just a game plan, but game management within the game is so crucial. So important. And I don't even mean like, oh, making halftime adjustments. Like just being able to read, we talk about this, like read the room, but like read the field, understand where this game is going. I always talk about this, like just being able to figure out, do we need to stick with what our game plan was, or do I need to make a change? And that's not as easy as it sounds. Let's say your mentality was like, and this is the most like elementary way to put it as possible, just to make it as, as dumb as possible, quite frankly. But like, let's say your mentality was like, we got to run. That's what we need to do. And now you go into the game and you're really struggling to run. In that moment, you have a choice. You're like, no, I either have to keep running because that is how we're going to break free. That is what puts our team in the best position to win. Or you say, you know what, this is not working. So we're going to have to adjust. And you know what, I actually, because of all of this, I see that we can actually do X, Y, and Z in the passing game. And it's not always one or the other. It's not like, oh, they're having trouble running, so they need to start passing. Or, oh, the passing game's not working, we got to run more. Like, it's not always that binary. You have to kind of figure this out. You have to troubleshoot throughout the game. Otherwise, you would have a list of your plays, and you would just say, here we go, this is what we're running. It doesn't matter what happens. You would already figure it out. It would be a lot of computer generation type stuff, quite frankly. You would calculate all the plays. You would have them all done. You'd practice them all. Kind of like what they do for like the first half a little bit, but you'd have it just all go through. Everybody would just know it. It doesn't matter what the score is, what the situation is, boom. And that's what coaching would be. And it's obviously not like that. So to downplay just how crucial coaching is insanity. It's insanity. When I just hear comments like that, it just makes my head want to explode. It really, really does. I don't know, man. I don't know. I find it genuinely shocking at this point how desperate we are to constantly figure out why someone wins or loses and reduce it to just this like singular thing. I often do try to simplify things to the best of my ability. Sometimes I think it's, beneficial if you watch a whole game and you see, okay, they lose, and you can see the way how the game unfolded, and I can see, and I see, that this team had 10 penalties or whatever, and I can say, listen, man, at the end of the day, this is why you lost. You had 10 penalties for 135 yards. Like, you're not going to win like that. And then considering the specific game where you can't copy and paste that to all the game plan, to all the, post-game analysis. But it's like, sometimes I like to do that because I'm just like, listen, let's just use the Eagles. Jalen Hurts played great. Saquon rushed for 140. The defense played really well, but you had 12 penalties for 135 yards. 2 pass interference calls that, brought it down to the 2 touchdowns. You're not going to win. You're not going to win, right? And I'm totally like okay in certain of those moments. But when we look at an entire season now, and we see all the ups and downs of a season, how they won different ways, different game plans at different times, different attacks, different defenses, different offenses, in bad weather and perfect weather and slippery fields on turf, like all of this type of stuff, to just be like, yeah, it's the players and Howie Roseman and that's it. It's just like, I just don't know. I just, when you have the whole season to look back on, you now, by definition, have the complete picture. So we can see everything. We can see the impact of coaching. We can see the impact of preparing going into a game. We can see the play calling, the defense, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think all the coaches would have had the same game plan that Fangio had in the Super Bowl? No. Do you think all the coaches would have had Jalen on that first drive? And I know it didn't. I know it got called back. But what was it, like 4th and 3, 4th and 4, whatever it was? And Jalen unleashes a deep ball. The first drive of the Super Bowl, I couldn't even handle that moment. And you know what? I can list you 15 offensive coaches or coordinators that would not do that. That would not do that. That's coaching. That's coaching. And that play, even though it got called back, was the exact level of intensity and aggressiveness and refinement and trust that that coaching staff did and showed to the Philadelphia Eagles, quite frankly, throughout the whole season, but of course, especially in that Super Bowl. Not all teams do that. I mean, that's just, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And it's intentional and strategic and understanding the moment, trusting the defense, etc. It's not the same thing as what the Detroit Lions did with Dan Campbell. Because that was just like, well, it's fourth and whatever, we go anyway. That's not really coaching. That's just like, hey, we're aggressive, that's our identity, that's what we do. It's like, okay, I get that, but like, there needs to be a little nuance. Otherwise, like, let me just be the coach and I'll just say, hey guys, 4th and 5, whatever, let's go. Oh, great job, Julian. You're a great coach. I know, man, it's my identity. I'm aggressive. You know, like, you got to kind of know where you're going with this and why you're going with this and how and when. And oh my gosh, it'll always be a pet peeve of mine if people want to downplay the importance of coaching. And like Colin even admitted, and I think even Nick did, and it was for slightly different reasons. They were like, I don't have this playing career, so like I underappreciate what great coaching can do. And I really think that is ultimately a fundamental truth. And like I said, like, you arguably just have to be able to be with a team or a coach for more than just a single year, and most likely a coach for a team that you had to try out for, you know, even something like ninth grade, you know, it would be kind of tough, maybe in ninth grade, unless you have the same coach if you made like varsity or something. But like, I feel like in order to really understand the importance of a coach, it can't be like a random little league coach or a random peewee or this or that. Like, it's got to be a coach that you've had for like a little bit more of an extended period of time for a truly competitive team where you can get cut, you can bench. It's not like everyone gets equal playing time and stuff like that, because you can have positive or negative experiences with those coaches as well, undeniably. But I just think to really understand the impact a coach has on how to win, how to get the best out of you, etc., at a higher level where like there seemingly are stakes involved, even if it's, you know, high school stakes and stuff like that. That's when I think that's the age when you really start to appreciate what a great coach is, not to mention when you're also playing for different teams. And again, I feel like you have to be at more competitive teams, because I've been on teams where I've been with like a lot of great guys, but we had bad coaching, and so we didn't get very far. And then with a lot of the same group of guys, you know, we now got a different coach for the next 2-3 years or whatever it may be, and I can see how different things are. So you can compare, and it just gives you that experience. It gives you the ability to kind of reflect back on all of that, and it is something that people just seem to just overlook and underestimate the importance of it. And it will always make me see red, quite frankly. And again, it's nuanced. It's not always all 100% coaching, and it's not always 100% not coaching and this or that. And that's why I think when you look back on a game, on a playoff run, on the season, you know, comparing last year to this year and last year to 3 years ago, like when you have all of the information, maybe a little bit harder throughout the season because you technically don't have all the information yet. You don't know how this is all going to unfold, but once the season's over and the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl and we see how it happens, like you can see that, yes, the players matter. Yes, Howie Roseman matters. Yes, Jalen Hurts matters. Yes, Saquon matters. AJ, you know, Fangio, Kellen Moore, Sirianni, like Jeffrey Lurie, the fans. Throw in Bradley Cooper if you want, man. I don't even care. Oh, gosh. It's going to be a late night. I can already feel it. Because there's already a couple other Philadelphia Eagles clips that I'm going to record tonight about them. A team has already, submitted a proposal to ban the tush push. It's like, oh my gosh. Unbelievable. And then there was another take that I want to do from Nick Wright when he said about the Philadelphia Eagles that he doesn't actually really believe. He's just saying that the Philadelphia Eagles are a top team just out of respect for them, but doesn't actually believe it or something along those lines. I'll have to, re-listen to the clip, and I'm going to make a video around that because it was in the context of a Detroit Lions clip. And I was just like, sometimes when there's a clip for something else and I'm like, oh wait, I gotta isolate that and make that into its own video. So I'll do that too. But Philadelphia Eagles, man, win the Super Bowl. And we still talk about them like they're, some Disney Channel original movie type of group of ragtag guys. And oh my gosh, like this isn't one of the highest run franchises. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles promoting? I mean, I didn't even get to even talk about that, but you know, the fact that the Eagles are promoting Kevin Patullo as the OC, the impact of coaching, why they win, you know, my whole rant, Colin's rant, J-Mac's rant. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.